What happens when you cross an old school game like Diablo 1 with vampire survivors? The answer is you get a game like Halls of Torment. Hey everybody, my name is Pravus. Welcome to a dark fantasy bullet hell roguelite experience. I'm gonna go ahead and jump directly into the game if you don't mind, and let's go ahead and play with the swordsman today. Now the premise of the game is very straightforward. We're gonna move our character around and slay all manner of different monsters, collecting these experience gems so we can level up and grow more powerful. We also want to pick up a load of gold so that I'll be able to afford upgrades, making myself stronger with every run. I'm gonna go ahead and take some extra attack speed. I feel like that's not a bad idea. Whenever you do level up, you are presented with some randomly generated traits in order to make yourself more powerful. If you're lucky, you get something that really applies well to your character. If you're not so lucky, well, you've got to adapt. What do we want next? You know what? Movement speed, never a terrible idea. The ability to outmaneuver your opponents is probably your greatest defense in any of these vampire survivors roguelite types of experiences, and Halls of Torment is no different at all. Now I'm just trying to collect some of these skeletons up so I can kill as many of them as possible. Let's increase our attack range a little bit. You'll notice with the swordsman that I get to choose where I'm going to be attacking. The direction of my attacks is up to me, unlike games like Vampire Survivors where it's completely automated. Now, we, as the swordsman, do attack in a frontal cone area of effect, so what I want to do is increase that area of effect as much as possible, hence the range. Or, of course, I could just pick up some extra damage and stuff. That's not a bad idea, but ultimately, the swordsman's greatest power is the ability to hit up to 100 targets at once, with almost unlimited piercing power. That's pretty darn good. I like this area of effect. I think I'm gonna pick up a little bit of extra pickup range so that I can pick up some of these gems from a safer distance, allowing me to kill off some enemies and kind of still skirt away while still getting all of the reward. But from here on out, I'm gonna focus mostly on some offense and some defense. Now let's go ahead and start walking this direction because I see in the bottom right corner a little scroll thing over there that says there's going to be some special power-ups in that direction. And I want to pick those up. The sooner I pick them up, the better. Oh, skeletons appear to be despawning. Now we're starting to get all these little blobs who can handle much larger hits. That's going to be a little bit annoying, and they're a bit more random in their movement, which can get kind of irritating, but it's okay. No big deal. Just trying to get to the scroll. Don't mind me, little blobbies. Ah, and we have our first boss over here as well. Now, this guy's going to continue chasing me around, and he's not too dangerous at the beginning of the game, but the bosses in Halls of Torment definitely do become very dangerous, and you're going to have to be paying attention to their movement and their attack patterns if you want to survive. That is one area where it's a little bit different from a game like Vampire Survivors, where ultimately, as long as you do unbelievable amounts of DPS and you're careful in where you move, you can kill just about anything. But in this game, no, you really do need to be paying very close attention. You'll see. Oh, there's the scroll that I'm looking for. All right, it is guarded, but it should be relatively easy for me to deal with. Just sneak in there. It spawns an extra boss, no problem. All right, now we get to choose some abilities. These are kind of like picking up, let's say, the extra weapon types in a game like, again, I'm going to keep saying Vampire Survivors because I do think that that's considered to be one of the standards in the genre at this point. We have Ring Blades, Lightning Strike, and Arcane Splinters. This one's pretty darn good. Short-range projectiles that can do a lot of damage. Ring Blades can go from left to right on the screen. Lightning Strike can stun enemies and does a lot of damage. I'm going to pick up Lightning Strike to start us off, though all three of those actually would work pretty well with the swordsman. Now I'm just going to kite these bosses around a little bit, try to kill them off if possible, kill off all the little guys, and just keep leveling up. Always be moving in a game like this. Standing still is death. There should really never ever be occasions where you're just standing around and shooting at your enemies. Always be moving. Let's increase that range a little bit further. At some point I'm less of a swordsman and more of like a spearman. That's what I'm trying to build here anyway. I like getting clustered up by all these little guys, all these little tiny skeletons over here. These guys are great because with my piercing damage I can crush a load of them. Now, I see another scroll in there that a boss dropped, and I really want to get it. Let's grab it there. There we go. Okay, hang on. Area cone damage. I think let's just increase the size of that. We get another ability. I'm going to pick up the Arcane Splinters this time around. All right. So you should be seeing some of these lightning spears going off here and there, and there's the little splinters I was talking about. These will shoot off, and they kind of linger in the area a little bit and can do some damage. When you have a lot of enemies that are close to you, this can do a pretty hefty amount of damage. We like them. Now, I've kind of clustered up a lot of enemies at this point. This is all by design, because when the time comes to kill them, I should be able to kill a lot of them very quickly now. Let's see. I think we go ahead and increase that area a little bit further. What I really need at this point is actually some increased damage outright, so I can kill these skeletons in one hit. We're not quite there yet. Let's carve a path out of here to safety. I'm usually pretty good about bobbing and weaving, but right now I'm making some mistakes. You can see, by the way, that you can upgrade some of your abilities, so the lightning strike, for example, can have some extra crit chance and stun range, which is quite nice, though it will attack a little bit slower. If that's something you want, go for it. I'm going to go for the crit hit chance on my main weapon, plus the extra 10% range. Now, I said that the objective of the game is to survive for a full 30 minutes. I will tell you right now, I've never done that. All right, we have an extra boss. Look at that. Oh, he's got some different attack patterns that we have to watch for. Oop, try to avoid that stuff going on the floor. Yeah, and we've got some stronger armored skeletons at the same time. This guy's a little bit tougher. I mean, if you haven't gotten even some basic damage, you're probably going to find yourself struggling a lot against this guy. But overall, he's not that hard. It's really once you hit about 10 minutes into the game that everything starts getting a lot tougher. That said, I do know that bosses can stack up on you, so I'm trying to kill him up as fast as possible. I'm going to take an extra 10% raw damage. That's enough to kill off some of the base skeletons in one hit, which is good, so extra 10% damage over this huge area of effect that I've got set up right now. That's pretty awesome. Once the enemies start clustering up in huge clumps, we're going to do massive amounts of damage. Now, we're able to outmaneuver this boss pretty effectively right now, and this is where having the extra movement speed actually is amazing. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. I would say at some point, if you don't have a certain amount of movement, you're just straight out going to die in this game. Movement is absolutely key. You really need to outmaneuver your opponents. All right, by taking down that boss, we now find some equipment. We can choose one item to make us a little bit stronger. Some defense and block strength, some health capacity, or just straight out 6 extra block. I'm going to take some plate armor, and that's it. I only get the one reward. That's fine, though. I like that. And now I simply want to cluster up the enemies as much as possible so that it's easier to hit as many of them with my cone as I can, and start collecting all the spoils before the next challenge hits, which is going to be fairly soon. Let's go ahead and boost up that range and the cone width a little bit further. Yeah, all right, we're hitting at a pretty awesome area of effect now. At this point, what I need is some defense and a lot of damage. Oh, but now we're starting to get attacked by a whole load of shielded skeletons. See, I just barely skirted out of that. If we didn't have enough movement speed, we might have gotten surrounded and killed off by a bunch of skellies. And that would not have been so good. That said, I like this because they're all clustering together. Guess what that means? Lots of free damage and XP for me. Let's see, we can boost up how much damage we do when we do get a crit hit. That's not bad. Some extra health regeneration and base health, even more movement speed. You know what, I don't have much in the way of health regen right now. Let's go ahead and pick that up so I can start making up for some of the damage that I've taken so far. Okay, new threat. So, some enemies just have spawned, some mages that are going to be shooting us with range attacks. This is one more reason that staying still is always a terrible plan. You should be trying to have some different way of encircling around your enemies so that they're constantly missing you. Because otherwise, if we stay still or get trapped in a corner, we're going to die. All right, I'm going to start moving up to the north because there is another icon that I've been ignoring up to this point. It is a magnet, something that's going to grab all of the XP and the gold that I thus far have been leaving on the ground because I've been having to constantly move and maybe I haven't been able to pick it up. Not worth going for that at the very beginning of the game because, I mean, you get more value the more stuff has had a chance to kind of pile up on the ground. But you don't want to wait until the very late game because otherwise you're not going to scale up fast enough and then all of a sudden, oh look, I'm fighting a boss that I can't possibly handle. I really wish I had more XP. And that's where that thing comes into play. So I'm going to start heading that direction now. If we can pick it up, I should get several levels up in pretty quick succession. Now, we're at about half health right now, which means I'm not doing extremely well in my whole dodging thing. I did say that was kind of important. If you break down... I just ran directly into that shot. What was I thinking? If you do break down some barrels and stuff, there's a chance you find a little bit of food or even a health potion periodically, which can be quite nice. We'll go ahead and increase some block chance. I need some defense. Oh, and here come the demon hounds. All right, these guys have a lot of health, and when they swarm you, you're in a lot of trouble. This is where having a lot of movement speed is nice, so you can thread your way through them before they have a chance to, well, dogpile. All right, there's the hand I was talking about. Let's pick it up, and we're going to see that now I'm starting to pick up all the stuff that's on the floor all across the map. So we're about to get a nice power spike. I'm going to increase my attack speed. Even if we don't have as much raw damage as I would like, the ability to do it faster is still a net increase for me. Some extra block strength and stuff, or crit chance and stun range and blah, blah, blah. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up the block chance again, just because I like to avoid taking damage in the first place. This kind of gives me a bit more flexibility if I make a mistake and I do get swarmed by an enemy. All right, what else we got? More attack speed, blah, 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 range. I mean, I like all of this. These are all really good. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a bit of extra range, I think. The further away I can be from enemies while still inflicting damage, generally speaking, the better. And even more range and cone width. I mean, sure, why not? You know, why not? I got a huge cone. It mostly tickles the enemies. It takes several hits to kill them. But when I can get them clustered like this, oh, this is where I start to shine. Case in point. What I'm doing now is I'm just kind of walking these little circles around the enemy, right? Little circles so that they start clustering up into big groups. Oh, we have another boss. Crud, and I didn't kill off the last one. All right, this just got a lot harder all of a sudden. But the point is, we're trying to kind of clump them up a little bit. A chance of some extra attacks. I mean, that's in addition to something I've already got. Yeah, all right, you know, I mean, in lack of having a lot of extra raw damage, I'll take it. This guy's a lot tougher, and here comes some fast skelly boys with spears. So these guys are going to be chasing after me, and it's a lot harder to dodge them. If you don't have enough movement speed, this is usually about the point of the game where you start to die. Okay, we cleared out one of those little bosses. That's good. I want to get down there to a scroll and pick up another ability. Yeah, I think it is movement speed time. A little bit extra would be nice. Oh, God. Oh, God, I don't know if I can clear out a path. Okay, barely. There we go. And what do we pick up now? Astronomer's orbs. Some orbs that circle around and do damage. Phantom needles, always targeting the nearest enemy. Or ring blades. You know, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the phantom needles. Take some nearby targets and just start shooting them. Good news is at least we are leveling up very, very quickly. Base health, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the increased attack speed for my needles so that they just kind of keep hitting things a little bit faster. Though I would have happily taken something to increase the strength of my main weapon. You know what I'd also love right now? Some more equipment. More equipment would be good for extra defense or something like that. There are ways of getting some extra starting equipment. I'll talk about those in a bit. All right, so now we're having to deal with a whole load of shielded guys who can handle many, many hits. Right, we really need to take out this boss before they pile up some more guys on me. If I have to fight another boss right now, I think I'm just going to straight out die. Come on, the boss is almost down. More mages are spawning. Good, yes. Oh, finally. All right, more equipment. Please give me something good. Extra base attack damage, extra defense and block strength, or 15% movement speed, all of which are pretty good, actually. I'm going to take the extra base damage, 10 base damage, not 10%, but 10. Is kind of nice, and I think it's still multiplicative where my other abilities boost that up. So it's probably more like 12 or 13 extra damage. Now, as I run for the hills over here, I do want to say this game looks very, very simple, right, in its scope. It doesn't seem like it's that big. Hey, look, we picked that up pretty much already. Perfect. All right, that's going to be huge. It looks very, very small and simple in its scope. And it is simple in its concept, but it's not small in its scope. What you're seeing right now is just one character very early in the game. I haven't gotten a lot of upgrades. There are overall 7 different characters in the game, a load of different quests that you need to complete, and even storylines, I believe, for each of the characters, which is pretty interesting. Let's get some of that extra HP regen. Okay, now I'm completely surrounded. We're in a lot of trouble here. Let's go for a bit of extra. I should have gone for the block chance. All right, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to get out of this one. Let's go for the extra 5% base crit chance. And now we're starting to get chased down by a bunch of spear boys. Okay, this is where having the extra movement speed would be really nice. All right, and somehow we got out of that. Oh, good, a mage boss. Yay. Let's go for some extra attack speed so that we can try to clear our way through some of these enemies a little bit faster. At this point, we need to be always looking for exactly this right here. Find an area where we can carve a path through. So far, so good. So far, kind of. There we go. Managed to get through that one. Amazing, I'm not taking much damage right now. I don't know how this is happening, but I'm avoiding most hits. That said, the second I let my guard down, y'all know I'm very much going to die. Let's take an extra 10% strength there. Got the strength 4. That helps, actually. We should be able to start clearing through these skeletons a little bit faster. I'm hoping, anyway, if we can get the double hit to proc, we actually definitely do clear through a wave. Like this. There we go. Okay, watch out for that mage, though. He keeps spawning where I'm trying to go, which is smart, but it means that it's very difficult to dodge all of his attacks. I keep trying to stick to this mage as much as possible. If nothing else, my needle ability is doing a pretty good amount of damage to him, which I like quite a lot. Gosh dang it, can't quite get to him. At least they stopped spawning some of those skeletons, but y'all know that means that something worse is about to hit. And look how quickly we cleared through that group. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Die, you fool! All right, another ability. Ring blades or astronomer's orbs? Let's go for the orbs. All right, these guys are now gonna be circling me and doing damage. They stick around forever. They never go away. Okay, now we're starting to get circled by some weird little doggies. Look at this. They do not follow a normal movement pattern, like, at all. Well, that's interesting. They're literally trying to hem me in on all sides. Clever, actually. Managed to reach level 40. This is easily the best I have ever done in this game so far. Oh, gosh, and now we get some really big dogs. And that's the Lich. Okay, this guy's gonna be spawning all sorts of nastiness. I don't know if I can survive this one. If I can take him down, that'd be great. He's gonna be, oh wow, he's creating a lot of enemies that all then shoot range attack. Oh good, this is great. No, this is fine. We're fine. I would really love to defeat this character though, because I'm pretty sure if we can defeat the Lich, that I'll unlock a new character, which I would really like to be able to do on video. That'd be great. Man, I wish I could spawn an army of the dead like this. That'd be awesome. I'm pretty sure one of the characters can do something kind of like that though, by the way. I mean, spoiler alert and all, but yeah, oh gosh, every time you kill them, they just spawn all these range attacks. You gotta be ready to start dodging side to side. Gosh dang it, I just need a bit more damage. I'm gonna go ahead and take some health regen though on the off chance that saves me. Just buy a little time to survive this. Oh good, he's stuck on the pillar. This is good, this is good. Come on, keep getting it. Oh god. All right, now I need to start clearing a path. Hang on, almost, okay. Come on, yes! We got the Lich! All right, more gear. What do I get here? Ooh, nice stuff. Long finger gloves, 80% pickup range. Wooden ring, crit chance, or extra health capacity and defense. So if they have this little green symbol on them, this means it's something I've learned about already, and I'll show you what that means later. Anything that doesn't have that, though, would be something new and has never been retrieved before. I'm going to take the 10% crit chance. Hopefully that ends up being the right call, and that is going to have to be just my straight-up raw damage increase. Okay, now we're starting to have some problems. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh man, this is starting to feel a bit more familiar all of a sudden. There's only 5 minutes remaining in this round. I don't know if I can survive that long. I'm pretty sure this is the end. Tell you what, it's not going to be for a lack of effort, though. Frick me, I'm going for it. Gosh dang it, I am going for it. Woo! Honestly, I'm amazed I'm not dead yet. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Oh my gosh, I have not won this yet. If I can actually win this on camera right now, I'm gonna be very happy. 2 more minutes. Cavern Survivor achievement unlocked. Survive until there's only 2 minutes left. Let me guess, that's when the difficulty spikes again. Amazingly, we've managed to survive though until I'm maxed up to half health. That's good. I mean, that can turn around really, really fast, but like, I'm getting there. Only 1 minute left. Almost, anyway. 1 minute left. Killed 15,000 enemies in one run. My god, 15,000. The swordsman is a beast. If I'm actually convinced if I had more movement speed, this would be a lot easier. Movement speed is so good. Whoa, god, all right, we survived, and now we can, what is this guy? I've never seen him before. Whoa, 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 frick me, dude, chill the frick out. Wow. All right, yep, boss battles, guys. It's a thing, apparently. Holy crap, he's got a lot of health, too. Jeezums, dude. I don't think it's possible for me to beat this guy. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. I'm gonna go ahead and take some extra range so I can still hopefully keep doing damage at a safe distance. But yeah, no, I don't think I can survive this one. I don't seem to have nearly good enough gear for this. Whoa, dude. And yep, there we go, I died. Ah, no. All right, so you die, and you get to see what your damage statistics are looking like and stuff. I think I did pretty good. We actually completed a whole load of quests, which I'll explain in just a little bit. And for surviving as long as we did, full 30 minutes, we get 1,800 gold. Plus we collected some gold, plus we get an extra score. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff here. I'll be able to spend this to make myself a little bit stronger. Let's go ahead and return back to camp. Woo, now for our efforts, by defeating the Lich, we just unlocked a new character class, the Cleric. Ooh, that's kind of cool. All right, let me show you around over here at the main camp, because there's some other stuff to consider. So here's the quest board, right? And you can see that we have a whole bunch of different quests, and if you complete them, you get some extra rewards like some gold and stuff like that. For example, deal 750,000 damage with Lightning Strike in a particular run. That's a lot. Defeat the Lord of Pain. That's another quest. And there are additional quests over here. Chapters 2, Path of the Sword, Swift as an Arrow, Unholy Crusade, class-specific quests. Now, that's kind of cool. Basically, these exist to kind of give you a sense of direction for what you should be trying to do, and sometimes it's going to feel like you're not making any particular progress, right? You play through an entire run, you get absolutely nowhere, and it's very disheartening. But don't be too upset. Because as long as you're making some progress toward these quests, or you're making a run toward it, you feel like you actually have some idea what you're trying to do, and that's nice. And some of these quests are going to unlock additional characters and stuff as well, which is really cool. Now let's go over here, because this is the Shrine of Blessings. Very important area. This is where I spend some of my money in order to upgrade all characters going forward. So increase the amount of damage we do by 10% per rank. Yeah, that sounds good. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that a couple of times. Defense. Health regen, max health, movement speed, pickup range. All things you're gonna want. So basically, the more you play the game, just as a general rule, the more powerful you get, so you can actually take on the larger challenges. Now, the other thing you can do with money is use it to get some items to make yourself stronger going into a run in the first place. So if you play the first round long enough where you can defeat the Imp Chiefdom, which is pretty early on, you'll unlock a secondary map here called the Ember Grounds. And yeah, it's a completely different map. Inside of that is a guy sniveling inside of a cage. He's called the Well Keeper. If you can find the key and unlock it, he'll come join your camp. Basically, as you continue with a run, if you find a piece of equipment you've never owned before and you really like it, you can try to take it to a well somewhere in the map, drop it in there, and this guy will scoop it up and bring it back to the camp. And he'll toss it into your item stash, which is right over here. So now, if we want to, we can go into the next round with, let's say, some extra health capacity and some pickup range and some movement speed. All kind of nice. What you do is go over here to the Well Keeper, and you would be able to buy some new items. Costs a lot of money to do that, though. So, yeah, be prepared to hold on to like 2 to 4 to 8,000 gold in order to buy the high-tier stuff. Now, I'm kind of curious what this cleric is able to do, so let's try moving on to the Ember Grounds real quick. And I expect to die very early on, but let's see what this character is actually capable of. Okay, has an interesting attack. Looks like we can only do a couple of attacks, and then we are stuck waiting for a second. Oh, well, that's not great. All right, I like the swordsman way better, but it has some sort of an effect. I don't know what this does, but I can see that my enemies had some sort of a debuff on them. All right. Let's go for some extra range. I'm assuming that that applies just as well here as it does for the swordsman. Yeah, that pink and white stuff that's sitting over them. What does that do? Okay, I actually just looked it up. It's interesting. So it looks like we're not doing a lot of damage, and that's because we do a set amount of damage with every attack. If we hit only one unit, look at that, we did 399 damage. Whereas if you hit a lot of enemies, it actually splits the damage amongst all of them. So actually increasing my range might not be the right call here, but I could see this being very powerful. Like, we'll clear this guy out quick. Watch that. See? I could see this being very, very strong against, let's say, a boss where you want to focus all the damage at one target. Yeah, here we go. Let's take this boss. Oh, yeah, we're actually able to do a lot of damage. If you can get the boss isolated, you can do a lot of damage. So I could see movement speed being extra important where you keep just the right distance where you can really focus your fire like this. All right, I'm starting to see the appeal of this character. I was gonna say it doesn't really suit me that well, but if I can burn through bosses as quickly as this, that's a huge advantage. Yeah, see, we can even get a proficiency here where we reduce our range, but increase our damage. Oh, that guy's carrying a bomb, by the way. Let's try not to die to that. Yeah, new threats when you get to the Ember Grounds over here. Kind of fun. Anyway, yeah, so it's a short-range character. Very different, very interesting. I can also see this character getting very weak toward the end of a round when you actually are being surrounded by huge numbers of enemies. Oh, this guy's scary. All right, we've got ourselves another boss. Who creates rings of fire so I can't escape? Oh, good. Credit where it's due, though. I am crushing this guy. All right, Undead Cleric, man. What an interesting character. Yep, got him. Flame Dancer. Dead. Yay! But knowing how this character works, I could see the Iron Ring not being good this time because 10 extra base attack that's then split across all enemies it hits isn't so great. Very interesting. Well, at a bare minimum, even though I don't fully expect to survive, I can at least get up to the Dried Out Well, drop out the wooden ring, and now it's going to be collectible when I inevitably die. Honestly, this is working out a lot better than I was expecting it to, and I think partly it's because all the abilities I've picked up can do some pretty decent area of effect damage, so while I'm very good at single target damage, my abilities can clear out the rest of the enemies. Surprisingly works. Like, I'll bet under other circumstances this would be a much more difficult boss, but we just took down the Wraith Warlord. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, yeah, there we go, alright. Well, I feel like that was only a matter of time. Still, we actually lasted a lot longer than I would have expected, and that's a whole lot more gold for me. Alright, what I wanted to show you was how the whole well thing works, and by apparently taking out the Wraith Lord, we now have a fourth character, the Exterminator. Well, that's kind of exciting. Looks like some sort of a plague doctor. Hi, can I please buy the wooden ring? Thank you. And there's the wooden ring, available anytime we want. So you can see how you'll be able to start with increasingly powerful characters, especially as you unlock better and better magical items to toss into the well. I mean, assuming you can get to the well in the first place, and then you can afford to buy it from this little geezer over here. Look at that face. I don't trust him worth anything. It's a pretty simple but very fun and well-executed game, and as I said, with 7 characters and a whole load of different quests that you need to be following, like seriously, a lot of them, There's a lot to do in this game, an absolute ton, and some of the items do get unbelievably powerful. So if you really enjoy this style of a game, right, with the Vampire Survivors bullet heaven type of genre, then I think that Halls of Torment is really going to strike your fancy. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.